Hey, what's going on, guys? J-Mac here. So I finally dropped a Renho Flare. I've been theory crafting a speed fire build for here for a little while, and I finally got the Renho. It rolled really poorly, so I'm not going to be putting out any high Torment Toads builds for the time being until I get a better one, but this speed build is pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun to play. It's very similar to the Speed Puke build in the way it plays and the way it works. But let's go over it real quick. Just show you now. Just keep in mind this is very gear intensive. It's definitely gear based. So this is the Renho. Rolled very poorly, really low damage, but for Torment 1 through 3 it's still fine. I could probably do Torment 2 just fine with the gear that I have right now. Torment 3 would be a little bit iffy. You want to, in a build like this, you want to be pretty much one-shotting trash and killing champion and elite packs in 5 seconds or less. So we're still rocking the Ticklandian Visage or Shell's Ring of Larceny combo. You get a burst in speed every time you fear something. This makes your Horrify last 7 seconds and roots enemies in place when you fear them. Warzekian Arm Guards for the extra boost in speed when you destroy a wreckable object. And the nice thing about that, the synergy there, is that the Toads actually will seek out wreckable objects for you to break, which is quite nice. We're going to stack as much fire damage as possible. We got fire on the SOJ, fire on the Warzekians, we've got Mage Fists, and we've got a Cinder Coat for fire damage. 20 pickup radius on the Thing of the Deep, and then we're rocking a Harrington Waist Guard. I've thought about a Razor Strap in the build for the extra fire explosion when you pick up a health globe, but the Harrington's it's just too good to pass up, man, especially in a build like this when you're moving so fast. The uptime on this proc is very, very high. As far as the build goes, Explosive Toads is going to be your main AoE clear. Explosive Beast you're going to use on Champion Elite and bosses, along with Wrathful Protector to clear them very quickly, and you're going to drop Slam Dance on the Champion Elite and bosses also. Horrify Stalker for more movement speed, Jaunt for more movement speed. We don't have any mana concerns in this build, so we get the extra second from Jaunt, which is nice for the speed. Spirit Vessel to get Spirit Walk and Horrify off of cooldown quicker. Gruesome Feast for more damage, Pierce the Veil for more damage, and Grave Injustice for cooldown reduction more than anything. So that's pretty much it. Paragon wise, get as much movement speed as you need, then go int, offense. I went crit damage then attack speed, but if you have low crit chance, you can go crit chance, crit damage, then attack speed. But I like to be able to cast my Toads and Charger pretty quickly in this build. Life percentage and then armor percentage here in defense. This is pretty irrelevant. You can probably put these anywhere for Torment 1. When you get to higher Torments, though, you probably want to do something like this. Utility, the only one that really matters is area damage, and then you can do whatever you want. So there you go. Let's go and jump into it. Let's go do a couple bounties real quick. It's pretty easy to get, with the Harrington Waist Guard, it's easy to get your Toads critting for 10 mil plus. That's about what you want for elite kills right there. Champion elite kills. That speed's pretty good. But yeah, you can pretty much, like, you don't really have to aim the Toads. You just kind of like cast them in a general area where you see a wreckable object and just start running, and they'll break something for you most of the time. So I mean, the Wrathful Protector, he crit for 78 million right there, which you can definitely get him critting much higher if you're rocking a Mask of Jerem. In this build, you're not going to do that, though, because you want the Ticklandian Visage, but you could make him crit much higher if you wanted to. Alright, there's one bounty down. We'll go ahead and go kill a boss, just to show how fast that is real quick. It's really, honestly, it's probably very, very, like, I haven't tested speeds yet between this and the Speed Puke build, but for farming bounties, it's very, very similar for speed. This one's probably a little bit more fun in my opinion, but I just really like explosive toads and Red-Hood Flare in general. Now, the one thing you could definitely have to make it a little bit faster in certain areas would be a Shukrani's Triumph, which I talked about a lot in other videos. Can't seem to find one. It's the one that makes your Spirit Walk last until you come within 30 yards of a monster or you attack. So in certain areas like this little stretch right there, my Spirit Walk would have lasted, you know, a second or two longer, which it's not going to be a huge difference, but I mean it would make things much faster. Like in the grand scheme of things, like it doesn't look like a huge difference, you know, in that one little stretch, but in the grand scheme of farming for an hour or two, it's making things much, much faster for you by not even realizing it. Now, I would consider rocking the Shrine Gloves, potentially, for 10-minute fleeting shrines in this build, if you're doing Torment 1 bounties. But I'm not sure if I'd run them over Mage Fists, but potentially I would. It would be close. So she should die very, very fast. Yeah. She pretty much gets two-shotted almost by the Wrathful Protector itself. It's pretty crazy. But this is pretty much a build. I run these builds for Torment 1 through 3 speed farming bounties for the most part, and I like to do at least Torment 1 when I'm doing bounties, simply because you have a chance for class-specific set items, so for Witch Doctor that's Helltooth, Zunimasa, and Jade Harvester. And then you also have a chance to get the Bottomless Potions, which are Torment-only drops, which is nice. Technically, you could probably farm a little bit quicker in normal, if you're split farming normal. But if you're killing champion and elite packs in 5 seconds or less and you're one-shotting the trash for the most part, this is just fine to be doing. But what I normally do is I'll run a build like this in bounties and then farm the rift keys up and then go do higher torment rifts with different builds. I have a lot of people come into my stream like, dude, why are you doing bounties? Or yeah, why are you doing bounties? Why aren't you doing rifts? I'm like, man, you gotta have keys to do rifts, and you don't get keys without doing bounties. So you gotta do bounties sometimes. It's not like you can just spam rifts forever and not run out of keys. So it's good to have a speed build like this for bounty farming. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.